Yes, guys. ETL testing. Okay. So ETL testing, E stands for extract, T stands for transform, and L stands for load. So ETL testing is basically extract, transform, and load testing. That means we'll extract the data. We will first of all extract the data. Now this extraction of data will be done from the source. This extraction of data will be done from the source. So you have to understand one thing, that in this extraction of data, we need to extract the data from the source. Now this source can be a XML file, can be an Excel file, can be a database, okay, can be a simple file. This is the source system. Now from the source system, we'll extract the data and then we will transform the data, okay? Transform the data. Transform means what, guys? Changes we will do. And then we will load the data. Load the data means what? We will put the data into the data warehouse. This is called as extract, transform, and load testing. So data is extracted from the source system, transformed, that means it is changed, and then loaded. So after that ETL thing, what we'll do is we will check that the data loaded from the source and it is loaded into the target. Target is nothing but your data warehouse. Now, what is data warehouse? We'll discuss separately. Data is loaded from the source to the target, and that data has been loaded correctly or not. That is nothing but your ETL testing. Extract, transform, and load testing. We extracted the data from the source system. Recording access. Okay. Tapashvi. Okay, let me just give her the recording access. Okay, guys. Fine, guys. And I will put this video in the YouTube, so don't worry. Okay, so extract, transform, and load testing is nothing but we're extracting the data from the source system. Source system can be an XML file, an Excel file, a database, and a file. We'll transform the data, we will change the data, load the data, that means we'll put those data which is extracted, which is transformed into the target. Target will be a data warehouse, and we'll check the data from the source to the target is matching or not. That is nothing but your ETL testing. Now this data, the data which is extracted, which is transformed, which is loaded, is loaded into the target using ETL tool. ETL tool, there are a lot of ETL tool. If you know, there's a tool called as Informatica. There's a tool called as IBM Data Stage. There is a tool called as Pervasive. There's a tool called as SSIS. There's a lot of SQL Server integration services. Okay, SQL Server integration service. So there are a lot of ETL tool available in the market. We are going to learn Informatica Power Center. We are going to learn Informatica Power Center, which is a ETL tool. Now, the work of the ETL tool is to extract the data from the source system, transform the data, and load it into the target. We can achieve it using a programming language called as PL/SQL. But it is not used generally, and most of the company will be using this ETL tool. Now, guys, now data has been extracted, transformed, and loaded. We are going to check it. This is called as ETL testing. Till here, guys, tell me, are you clear what is ETL testing? Tell me yes or no, any doubts? Anyone? What about Samyukta? Did you understand?
If source files and the target is in tables, how we?
Yeah, that validation part of the ETL testing, that I will teach you separately. As of now, did you understood the definition of ETL testing or not? Tell me yes or no.
Yes.
Okay, guys, fine. If you have understood this much, let me just tell you, in the ETL testing, I told you there's source system, XML file, database, Excel file, and file can have an extension of .csv, that means comma separated value, .psv, that means pipe separated value. Okay, that means data will be the file extension will be .csv or .psv. CSV, PSV file, have you ever heard about that? Yes or no, guys? Yes. Anyone has heard about CSV? Yes or no, guys? Can anyone tell? Anyone has heard about CSV? Comma separated. Are you there, guys, with me?
I'm there, sir, but I don't know.
Yes. Comma separated value. PSV is what, guys? Pipe separated value. That means what, guys? Comma separated value is what? In the file, the data will be separated by what? Comma. In pipe separated value, the data will be separated by what? Pipe.
Pipelines.
Okay. And what will be the extension of this file? Extension will be what, guys? Can anyone tell me? .csv. Here the extension will be what, guys? Can anyone tell me? What is the extension? Extension will be .csv. Excellent, guys. If you have understood the definition of the ETL testing, now I want to tell you what is the role of an ETL tester. Anyone knows? Guys, are you there with me, Rakesh? Yes or no, guys? Yes. So I just wanted to tell you what is the role of an ETL test engineer. What is the role of an ETL test engineer? What he will do is he will test the data from the source and the target. Okay, first thing, and he will sometimes run the workflow so that data gets loaded into the target. These are two things, guys. First is what? First is that he will test the data from the source and the target. Next is what? He will run the workflow so that data gets loaded into the target. Also, guys, he will test the data. Third thing is what? He will test the data from the target to the BI report. BI report means what, guys? Business intelligent report. Okay, intelligence report. There is nothing, but yeah, one report is there. Now, what is Power BI and what is BI report testing? That we will tell you separately. So let me just tell you. First is what? He will run the workflow. Then he will test what? The data from the source to target. Then he will test what? The data from the target to the Power BI. This is what is the roles and responsibilities of an ETL testing. If you have understood this much, guys, then we will learn something called as Etl Project Architecture. Okay, fine, guys, come here. This is a Etl Project Architecture. This is a data migration project. Okay, what is this project? It's a data migration project. Data migration means what? Data is moving from one place to the other. Whenever the data is moving from one place to another, it is called as what? Data migration project. Now, guys, for your experience and everything, always we put a project called as what? Data migration project. Generally, 99% of the ETL testing projects are data migration. Data is getting migrated from one system to the other. There can be data mockup, data masking project, BI reporting project. So those things we will discuss separately. As of now, we are just seeing one project called as what? Data migration project. Now, as its name is telling data migration project, so data will be loaded from the one place to the other. That is what its name is called as what? Data migration project. Fine, guys. Now, this is now see, this is what? Data migration project. This is the Etl architecture. Now, pay attention here. This is the Etl architecture. Everyone will ask you, what is the architecture of your project? What is the Etl architecture and what is your architecture of your project? Fine, guys. Now, whenever such kind of questions are asked, ETL architecture or architecture of your project, what you have to do is, guys, is first you have to understand which is the source system. This is the source system. What is the source system? It can be a flat file. It can be an unstructured data. It can be a ERP or CRM data. So these are the what? It can be what? I told you, what can be the source? Source can be what? It can be an Excel file. It can be a file system. It can be a database. It can be a XML file. All these are nothing but your source system. Fine. From the source system, it goes to the ODS, then it goes to the staging, then it goes to the data warehouse, then it goes to the data mart, then it goes to the BI report. To understand this, what I told, if you remember, today is the first day, let us just understand it very neatly. How to understand an ETL architecture. I always take an example called as cooking a food. Okay. Okay. ETL architecture.
ODS mandatory, sir.
Yeah, I'll tell you. Etl Architecture project. Suppose I want to make a potato curry. Okay. Potato curry. So, yeah, Samyukta, tell me the steps to make a potato curry. Step 1 is what?
Peel. Wash the potatoes and peel them.
Okay, wait. Don't tell that much fast. Wash the potato. Okay, then next step.
Peeling the potatoes.
Yeah, peel the skin of the potato.
Yeah.
Then
cutting into pieces.
Yeah. Then cut it. And then last step is what? Cook it. Correct, guys? Yes. So what happened, guys? Consider a potato has come. So the basic thing, the first thing, the hygienic thing is what? We'll wash that potato or not? Tell me, guys, yes or no? Yes. So if we will wash the potato, that is called as what, guys? That is called as what? The data has come into ODS, or it's also called as landing area. Operational data storage or landing area. The data has come into ODS or landing area. What's the potato? What's the potato means what? The minimal validation. Minimal validation will be done in this layer. Next is peel the skin of potato. That means some minor transformation check. Not transformation, we'll write some minor quality, data quality check. Data quality check will be performed in this layer. Then it's cut it. Cut it means what, guys? When the data is going, this is what the staging layer. This is what? Staging layer. This is what? ODS layer. This is what? Transformation, actual transformation. If we cut the potato, that is nothing but your actual transformation. This is not what your data warehouse. Fine, guys. And last is what, guys? After cutting it, it has gone to the after cutting it, it has gone to the particular data warehouse where we have cut it and we have what? Cooked it. So this can be considered in one step. Cut and cook in one step. So this is done in the transformation layer in the data warehouse. And after that, it goes to the next layer, guys. That is nothing but your. Now the food is prepared and served. This is nothing but your BI report layer. So this is very, very simple thing, guys. So now if you have understood this much, first thing is what, guys? ODS layer or landing area, what we are doing? We wash the potato. That means what? We'll do the minimal validation. Next is what, guys? Staging area, where what we will do, guys? We'll do the data quality check. Next is what? Data warehouse, where we'll do the transformation. And last is what, guys? In the BI report layer, where everyone can see the BI report. Fine, guys. Let us just see here what happens. First, this is source system. From source system, it went to the landing area. Now, in the landing area, what will happen? Then the landing area, the minimal validation will happen. Like what? Your name of employee should start with the first letter, as first letter of the name should be capital, okay? Or data type check, okay? So this kind of validation will be done in which layer? In your landing area, minimal validation. What are the minimal validation, guys? First, I told you is what? That we can do what? Let me just make it number wise or point wise, so it becomes more very, very clear. Let me make it point wise. First is what, guys? We can check the name of the employees to start with the first letter as capital. Next is data type check. Suppose there's a number data type, then there should not be any characters in that. So that kind of check can be done in the landing area, which is the minimum validation, which is the first layer. 99% of the company will not use this landing area. From the source, it will go to the staging layer. From the staging, it will go to the data warehouse. From the data warehouse, it will go to the data mart. From the data mart, it will go to the BI report, which is called the presentation layer, which is the last layer, which can be used by any end user. That is nothing but your BI reporting layer. And this BI reporting layer is used by the end users. Now, what is this data warehouse? What is this data mart? All those things we will learn later. As of now, what I told you, the architecture of the project is what? Source to ODS to staging to data warehouse to data mart to reporting. But this is exceptional situation when someone is using the ODS or landing area. 99% of the company uses this layer. What is the layer they use? Source to directly, they escape this ODS layer. They go from source to staging to data warehouse to data mart to the BI report. When you explain your project, just tell from source to staging to data warehouse to data mart to BI report. This is my project architecture. We check the data from the source to data warehouse and then from the data warehouse to the BI report. Data mart is a subset of data warehouse. We check the data from the source to the data mart because data mart is for the division of the data warehouse. Suppose our data warehouse is an employee data of a company. So that is nothing but your data warehouse. Now HR department, okay, security department, now sales department. These are nothing but your small data mart. So what happened, guys, in data mart is a subset of data warehouse. So we test the data actually from the source to the data mart and from data mart to data this particular reports. But when we explain, no, we cannot tell that every data mart we check. No, when we explain, we tell what? We check the data from the source to the data warehouse, from the data warehouse to the BI report. Guys, any doubt in ETL architecture? Tell me.
We can tell like source to staging, staging to data warehouse to BI. We can tell so
data warehouse
also.
to the BI report. Yes. First, but when you explain, no, guys, even you don't tell when you explain your project architecture, you tell what the data is going from the source to staging to data warehouse to the data mart to the BI report. But when you explain the validation, we directly tell what we take the data from the source to the data warehouse. It is already understood. We have checked the data in the staging layer. So when you explain, when you tell what the data we are going to test is from source to data warehouse, from the data warehouse to the BI report. Finished. If we ask the question, did you check in the staging layer? Then you can tell that whatever the data quality check is there. If we ask about data mart, then you can tell it is a subset of the data warehouse where we actually check the data, and it is data warehouse is divided into data marts. Suppose an employee data is there of an organization, that is nothing but your data warehouse. But if it is divided into different departments like HR, sales, security, all this will be data mart. And here also we'll check the data. But when you explain, it should be very, very neat. The architecture of the project is source to staging to data warehouse to data mart to BI report. Finished. We tested the data from the source to data warehouse. This is part 1 of the testing. Part 2 of the testing is we tested the data from the data warehouse to the BI report. Am I clear, guys? Tell me yes or no. Yes or no, guys? Samyukta, did you understood? Yes.
But actually, in staging, we will validate, no, sir.
Yeah, you will validate. Yeah, you will validate in the staging. But when you explain your validation things, you don't tell that we tested. We cannot tell that every layer we tested from source to staging, then we tested from staging to data warehouse, from data warehouse we tested to data mart, from data mart we tested to BI report. This way we do not explain our answer. That is the architecture. When you explain your architecture, you tell what? Source to staging to data warehouse to the data mart to the BI report. But when you explain your validation part, just tell from source to data warehouse, from data warehouse to the data mart, from data warehouse to the BI report. Okay. So divide it into 2 parts. What is the part 1, guys? Part 1, what you have to tell? Testing part is what? Yeah. Tell me.
Part 1 is from source to data warehouse.
Part 2 is what? From data warehouse to the BI report. This is already understood. We are checking in the staging layer. We are checking the data, data in the data mart. That is already understood. But at the time of explaining, we will not tell like that. Fine, guys. So am I clear with this architecture? Tell me any doubts? Yes or no, guys? Yes. So ETL testing tools are what, guys? Informatica, Abnisho, IBM, Data Stage, SSIS, and BI reporting tools are what, guys? Cognos, SSRS, MicroStrategy, Power BI, QuickView. Okay, all these are nothing but your BI reporting tools. Fine, guys. Now in landing area, I told what we test. We generally take, suppose the name of the employee should start with the first letter as capital. This is one of the validation of landing area. The data type check. Suppose the data type defined for a column is number and we have entered characters. So that is one particular testing done. Minimal testing done in the landing area. In the staging area, we'll do the data quality check. Quality check, or also called as what? Data quality check. What are the data quality checks? I have already mentioned here. No underscore should be there in the data. No unnecessary null value should be there in the data. Rounding of the data should be rounded off properly. Decoding of the data, any decoding of the data needs to be given. So I told you a function called as decode. Do you remember that? If like if else, if suppose IT is the department, if the department number is 10, it should be IT decoded to IT. If department number is 20, it should be decoded to CSC. If department number 30 is there, then it should be decoded to department 30 is there, then it should be decoded to suppose mechanical, like that decoding of data. So these are the guys your data quality check. What are the data quality check? No underscore, no unnecessary null values, rounding of the data, decoding of the data. Fine, guys. Now this is the validation in the staging area. Okay, fine, guys. Now data warehouse layer transformation logics are being tested. Here the actual testing will be done. Always remember, guys, transformation logic are tested. Here actual testing is done in this layer. Okay. So actual testing, guys, will be done in this layer. This is the transformation logic. So now, guys, what will happen here is now, guys, 1 second, guys. Okay. So now, guys, yeah, here the actual transformation logic will be tested. Actual testing will be done in here because this is the most complex part. Okay. This layer, this is the most complex part of validation because we actually had to test what? This is the most complex part of validation. Okay, this here we need to test the what? Guys, here we need to test the complex logics and all in this layer, in the data warehouse. Business logic means what, guys? Suppose salary should be incremented by 10%. This is one of the business logic, guys. When I will teach you Informatica, I will tell you all the kinds of validation, be it be router transformation, be it be filter transformation, be it be sorter transformation, be it be lookup transformation, all the transformations and their validations neatly I will explain. As of now, you understand what is a business logic. Suppose salary is incremented by 10%. Out of 4 departments, only 1 department will be loaded. These are example of what, guys? Business logic. So this is done in which layer, guys? In the data warehouse layer. So there are 3 layers, guys. In landing area, I told you minimal check. In staging area, I told you data quality check. And then in the data warehouse layer, I told the actual business logic or transformation logic is tested. Next question comes, guys, what is a data warehouse and what is a database? This is again a very confusing question. Most of the people get confused here. So now you guys tell me,
sir,
what is a
doubt, sir.
Yeah, tell me.
Like how do we will check in that million records, like how underscore is there?
That is the validation part. I will teach those things. I have not started the validation part. Please understand, I will tell you the validation part. As of now, we are just learning what is ETL testing. When I will start telling you what are the validations done for ETL testing, how we'll validate each and every data, then I will tell you that answer. Okay, fine. So today is the first class, so we are understanding the concepts. What is a database and what is a data warehouse? So guys, tell me, what is the difference? What is a database and what is a data warehouse? What is a database? What is a database?
Database will store the data. It is
Collection of
schemas.
Data
This one.
in the form of what? Tables. Yes or no, guys?
Tables.
Collection of data in the form of tables. What is a data warehouse, guys? Anyone knows?
It's also a database which is used to generate globalized reports.
Yes. What is a data warehouse? Anyone knows?
It's also a database which is used to generate the globalized reports and maintaining the historical data.
No, but how will you tell that this is a database, this is a data warehouse? With respect to data, how will you tell that this is a database, this is a data warehouse? How can you tell that?
Database
Rakesh?
will have collection of schemas.
Huh?
Database will have collection of schemas.
What about data warehouse will not have the schema? What about Rakesh? Can you just try? Are you there, Rakesh?
Data warehouse used to store historical data.
Okay. And database?
Uh, it used to store temporary data.
Temporary data. Okay. So how will you understand this is a database data, this is database, this is data warehouse? Guys, now see here, most of the people don't know what is the difference between database and data warehouse. They keep on confusing. But if you remember my definitions and my points, you'll never ever get confused. A database, again and again, I'm telling you, a database to qualify as a data warehouse needs the below points. Which are the points, guys? First is subject oriented. Integrated. Non-volatile. Time variant. If our database qualifies all this property, it becomes a data warehouse. Are you able to understand? If our database qualifies all these points, it becomes what? A data warehouse. Are you able to understand? To meet this database to be called as data warehouse, these 4 points should be there. Are you able to understand? Yes. Suppose I can tell you in this way, if you want to become a owner of a company, okay? Suppose Google CEO, okay, is suppose Sundar Pichai. So to become a owner or the head person of a company, the minimum requirement is what? What should be the designation given? Can you just tell me what is the designation given? CEO, Chief Executive Officer. If you are Chief Executive Officer, that means you are the boss, supreme boss of that particular organization. That means you should be in a position called as what? CEO. Then only you will be the owner of that particular owner, not you will be the supreme power of that particular company. You will be on the highest position. To become the most powerful person of India, that is the Prime Minister. The minimum position, the designation is what? Prime Minister. If you are the Prime Minister, then only you are the supreme power of the India. Are you able to understand? So the minimum designation is what? Prime Minister. Like that, this particular database to be called as a data warehouse database. Data warehouse is also a database only. It's data warehouse database. Now this database, a normal database, okay? Let me write down like what? A normal database. To qualify as a data warehouse database, all these 4 points it should have. First is what? Subject oriented. Subject oriented means what? It should be related to a particular subject, like sales. It should be it should be related to a particular subject, like sale. Okay, like sales. Suppose sales is happening for a particular organization. So those kind of data, if it is there, then that is called as what? Subject oriented. It is more of a subject oriented. The subject is what? The sales of that particular product for a particular region, for a particular country, for a particular period of time. Those things called as what? Subject oriented. First thing, subject oriented. And the most important point is nothing but your integrated. If your database to qualify as data warehouse, it should be integrated data. If it is not integrated data, it is not a data warehouse. That means what, guys? Integrated means what? The databases, database 1, database 2, database 3, database 4, all the database from the database 1, 2, 3, 4 has been integrated in a centralized repository. That is nothing called as what? Data warehouse database. Data warehouse database. That means our database to qualify as data warehouse, the most important point is integrated. That means what, guys? Suppose it's a Bangalore. Now Bangalore, there are so many areas. There's Kormangala, there is Marathalli, there's BTM, there's Silkboard. Now what is happening, guys? In Kormangala, there is a sale of jeans. Okay. Now sale of jeans is happening. Let us understand, guys. This integrated point is very, very important. Now what happened, guys? There are, let me just open Paint to make you understand more clearly. So guys, see here, there is a sale happening of jeans in Kormangala. K for Kormangala. Silk board means what, guys? SP. These are area, okay, in Bangalore. Have you ever lived in Bangalore, guys?
Yes, sir.
So there is something called as silk board, okay? There is something called as area called as BTM. Okay. There is something called as Hebbal. These are so many areas name in Bangalore. This is Kormangala. These are, guys, area, okay? No. There is a showroom of Lee jeans, okay, which is getting sold. Now the data, the jeans which is getting sold is kept in a particular database, okay? In a particular database, what is happening, guys? This particular data of the sale of the Lee is getting stored. That means this particular jeans is stored for 1 year, okay? For till 1 year data, we can have it in a particular database. There's suppose 6 months, 2 months, 3 months, or maximum 1 year data, maximum 1 year data maximum, okay? 1 year, 1 month to, from 1 day to, I can write like this, from 1 day to 1 year data we can have in a database. Now all the sale and everything of this particular showroom of the Lee is stored here in this particular database whose name is database 1. Similarly, yes, there is something called as database 2, a sale happening for a particular Lee jeans in Silkboard. Like that, there is something sale happening in BTM, database 3. Hebbal, there is something called as database 4. Now what will happen, guys? All this data from database 1, database 2, database 3, database 4 will get integrated in a centralized repository. This centralized repository is called as what, guys? Data warehouse. This is called as what? Data warehouse. What is data warehouse database? This is also a database only. But what is the difference? It is integrated data. First of all, this is integrated. All the data from all the databases is getting integrated and stored in a centralized repository. That is nothing but your data warehouse database. Now what happens, guys? The data gets stored in this centralized repository called as data warehouse database. Now first thing is subject oriented. Next is integrated. Next is non-volatile. Non-volatile means what? Here the data will not be for 6 months, 1 year and all. Here the data will be for what? 10 years, 5 years, a minimum at least 5-year data, 10-year data, okay, 100-year data, 100-year data, okay, guys? So all this data, that means nothing but your time variant. Time variant means what? A huge amount of data, guys. First 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 100 years. All this data will be in the data warehouse. First of all, it is time variant. A huge amount of number of years of data it will have. 5 year, 10 year, 20 year, 100 year, 1000 years. This will be in data warehouse, but in database, it is not like that. 1 month, 2 months, 6 months, maximum 1 year. That's all. Here, for 5 years, 10 years, 100 years, all the data will be there in the data warehouse. That is called as time variant property. Non-volatile means what? Since this 100-year data, so we cannot use update. Okay, you cannot update the data. I don't know yet before 100 years what was the data, so you cannot use update. You cannot use delete. Okay, so that is why it is called as what? Non-volatile. The data warehouse data are non-volatile. We cannot use update and delete here because the data is 1 year or 100-year old, and you will just delete some data, then it will create a data alumni. Okay, so it will create a data completely corrupted. It will corrupt the data. Data anomaly will happen. Corrupted data will happen. Junk data will come. So we'll not do this update and delete. What we will do, guys, is we will not do this. There are 4 properties. First is what? It should be a subject oriented, like for a sales. Now integrated from all the databases, data are coming. If it is an integrated data, then only this is called a data warehouse database. Next is non-volatile. We cannot use update and delete and all because a huge amount of data. Time variant is a huge amount of data, not 6 month, 1 year, 2 month data. It is 5 year, 10 year, 20 year, 100-year data. This kind of database is called as what? Data warehouse database. So did you understood now what is the difference between a database and a data warehouse? A database to qualify as data warehouse should have 4 properties. What are the 4 properties, guys? Everyone tell me. Subject oriented, integrated, non-volatile, and time variant. Am I clear, guys? Till this much. Tell me yes or no. Are you guys with me?
Yes, yes.
So if you have understood, guys, this is the definition of data warehouse. Now, if someone will tell you what is a data warehouse, first thing what you should tell, the data in the data warehouse should be integrated. This is the basic thing what you should tell. That data in the data warehouse is integrated. It is not. If the data are not integrated, it is not data warehouse. This is the first thing. Next, you will tell what? Subject oriented, the non-volatile, time variant. Subject oriented means a particular subject. Non-volatile means what, guys? We cannot use update and delete and all. Time variant means what, guys? It will be a huge amount of data, 5 year, 10 year, 20 year, 100 year. It cannot be 1 month, 2 months, 6 months data. Am I clear till this much, guys? Tell me yes or no. Tell me, guys, yes or no. Are you there with me?
Yes.
If you have understood, guys, what is a data warehouse, then we will go to something called as data mart. So data mart is nothing but, guys, a subset of the data. Okay. So what will happen is that I told you now, suppose our data mart, what is happening, guys, here? If you see a data mart, what will happen, guys, here in the data mart? What will happen is an employee data is there. Now it's a huge amount of data. So we can divide it into multiple small data sets. That is nothing but your data mart is a subset of the data warehouse. That is what I have written here. Data mart is a simple form of data warehouse that is focused on a single subject or line of business, such as sales, finance, marketing. Given the focus, data marts draw data from sources that than data warehouse. Data mart sources can include internal operational system or central data warehouse and external data. There is a type of data mart that we will learn later, guys. As of now, data mart, what will happen, guys, is a single subject oriented, because in a data warehouse, an employee data is subject oriented data, because here now employee data are there. Now employees are there. So many employees, 1 lakh employees are there. Now what happened, guys? This is what employee data. So this is one subject. But here what will happen, guys? Here single subject. Suppose this employee is from HR department. So all the data of the HR department in this data mart. Now this employee is from security department. So all the data of that particular employee in this particular data mart. This is from the delivery department. So in this particular data mart. So it's a subset of the data warehouse for a particular subject. These are the things clear, guys. First of all, source system. Which are the source system? Can you just tell me, Rakesh? What are the source system? It can be an Excel file. It can be an XML file. It can be a database.
It can be CSV.
It can be a file, CSV or PSV file. Then
Yes,
from
yeah.
the source, it goes to the landing area. Landing area is the basic area. It is the first area, which is called as what? ODS layer where basic check happens, like what guys? Like your first letter should be capital or data type and all. This is checked in the landing area. Then we'll check in the staging area where the basic data quality check happens. The basic data quality check, like there should not be underscore, there should not be any null value, rounding of the data, decoding of the data. All these things are done in the staging area. And then from the staging area to the data warehouse where actual transformation logic will happen. Like salary should be incremented to 10%. And these kind of validations, what I have told, out of 4 departments, only 1 department should be loaded. This kind of actual transformation will happen in the data warehouse. After data warehouse is a data mart, or the subset of the data for a particular subject. Data will be loaded into particular data mart. From data mart, data will be loaded into BI report. This is the presentation layer. This is the report which is developed. Big persons, like big person in the sense, suppose CEO, the MD, this kind of people will go to the BI report and take their decision. How many employees have left the organization? What is the attrition rate? How many employees joined the organization for a particular product? How much is the sales for a particular year in a particular region? These kind of decisions will be taken by the big honorable positions of the organization, CEO, MD. They will take the decision of the BI report, and accordingly they will take the decision, okay, this particular product should be stopped, or this particular product should be increased. This is done by the BI report. So the end product of any ETL testing is nothing, guys. This is also a question asked. Everyone tell me, the end product of any ETL architecture is what? A particular BI report. Are you able to understand? This is also called as presentation layer. Why? Because now the vegetable is cooked. Now it is presented in front of the user. Like that only the BI report is made. Now it is presented in front of the end user. This is nothing but your BI report. Testing, as an ETL tester, will test the data from the source to the data warehouse, from data warehouse to the BI report. Is it clear, guys? ETL architecture, tell me yes or no. Everyone? Tell me, guys, yes or no?
Yes.
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 Any doubts still here? Tell me, guys. Tell me, guys, yes or no? So if you have understood, guys, till this much, then there is something called as source to target mapping document. Have you ever heard about that? Let me just show you. This is a source to target mapping document. That means what, guys? The source was what, guys, in this architecture, guys, everyone follow that in the same way you have to tell in your project. This is my project. This is the architecture. What is the source? This is the source system. What is the target? It is the data warehouse. Yes or no, guys? Yes. Now here, what is happening is, here, the source is a table. Target is also a table. Fine, guys. So as I have told you, guys, source is a table and target is also a table. Now see here. This is called as STM document. It is also called as mapping document. This is like the Gita of ETL testing. Always remember STM document, STM document, or mapping document. All are the same. STM is source to what? Target document. STM is what? Source. STM, some people write STM, source to target mapping document, or simply what we will call it as mapping document. All are the same thing, guys. All are the same thing. It can be source to target mapping document, source to target mapping document, or simply called as mapping document. This is the STM document. Always remember, this is the first document we ask to initiate the testing activities. Fine, guys. This is the first document we ask to initiate the testing activities. Fine, guys. Excellent. Now this is your source. Now, what happened, guys? Yes, entity means what, guys? Table. Source entity. This is the table. DL campaign offer. This is source column. This is the table. Suppose campaign offer. This is the column campaign initiative type. The source column data type is varchar. Transformation logic is stateful. It's also called as what, guys? Stateful, or also called as what?
Direct pull.
Yeah, 1-to-1 mapping, direct pull, straight load. Fine, guys. It's also called a straight load, straight pull, direct pull, 1-to-1 mapping. What is happening, guys? This is a column in the source that will go into the target with the column name as what, guys? Touch TNT DC DESC. The target table name is I dashboard underscore point fact, and this is the transformation logic. Are you able to understand? This DL means data load. This is source system. What is the source system? It's a table. Okay, what is the source table name? That is nothing but your DL campaign offer. This is a source column. This is a source column data type. This is transformation logic. It's 1-to-1 mapping. The target table name, target column name, and this is the target column data type. If suppose I want the target column data type, that should be also written. Suppose it should be varchar. So that should be also mentioned here. Is it nullable? No. And if any comments are required, we can just give it. Am I clear till this much STM document? Any question in this? Guys, tell me yes or no.
Yes.
Names change, no, sir. Entity of source and target.
What happened?
The source entity and target entity names are different.
Yeah, name can be different, right? Here, see the source table, target table. What is the source table name? Campaign offer. Target table name. What will you what? See, target is nothing but your data warehouse. Are you able to understand? It will be only one. But source can be multiple sources. Yes or no, guys? Yes. So these are the source tables. These are the target table. Okay. See here. Source system, multiple tables are there. And finally, it is loading into data warehouse. So that is nothing but your, this is data warehouse. The target table name is 1. What is the target table name? I dashboard underscore point fact. What is the source table? There are multiple sources table. One of them is nothing but your campaign offer. I have taken this one. Source column, data type, transformation, target table, target column name, target column data type, nullable or not, comments. Am I clear, guys? Tell me yes or no. Any question?
What is nullable, sir?
What
is nullable?
Nullable means this column is defined as null column or not. Are you able to understand? Then no. And means what? No. Are you able to understand? If the column is defined as null or it is not null. Okay. So this column is not null. Okay. So it is written as n. And if the column is having only null values, then we'll write here y. Any external comments we can give here. Tell me, guys. Are you clear till this much? Like that, guys, there is another table called as on DL organization. Source column name is this one. Data type is this one. Transformation logic is stateful, first load. And there's a target table, target column, and like that, target data types and all is present. Now, let me just show you here. Yes, guys. Now, like that, guys, if there is any transformation logic, no, we'll write that transformation logic here. Suppose these are the your source tables. Okay, suppose there are 3 tables. One is what? Campaign target, campaign target. I have written the name, alias name as DCT. Campaign offer, DCO. A DL month, that is nothing but your DM. These are the column, and this is the transformation logic. Whatever the transformation logic is there is written here, and it is going into the target table. And this is how, based on the transformation logic, we'll prepare our validation query, and we have to validate the data from the source to the target. Now, how to prepare the validation query, how to do the validation, that we will learn, guys, separately. Did you understood this STM document, guys? Tell me yes or no. Yes. So now, guys, my thing is I need to share with you these documents. Okay. So what I will do is, first, let me share this document, okay? Etl testing document. Yeah, this is a document I have given you here only. Unzip it. It is having all the documents. Okay, the document which I have shared. Go here. Just open this one. See here, all the STM document is there. Yes or no, guys? Yes. Open this STM document and go through the STM document. Okay. And then, guys, this is the STM document. I've already given you all the documents. Next, guys. And again, I will be giving you so many documents. Don't worry. As of now, I have just given you the ETL testing document and the ETL notes, whatever documents, STM document and all to you. This is part 1. Next, today's class notes. Yes, guys. Today's class note 12/7/2022. Yes, this is the document which I'll giving you. Fine, guys. From tomorrow, guys, we'll start actual thing that is nothing but your we'll start what, guys? How to do the validations of our ETL testing. This class, if you miss, guys, then you will never ever understand how to do the ETL testing. Don't miss the class at any cost. We'll meet tomorrow. And from tomorrow, we are going to start and going to learn what, guys? The actual validations of ETL testing. So that's all for today, guys. We'll meet tomorrow. Have a nice day. Thank you.